Let's talk a bit more about this with the aviation analyst Alex Macheras, who joins us now. Alex, thanks for coming in. So, talking about the reasons first for what's happening with Flybmi, you say it's not just Brexit. Indeed, they're talking about fuel prices as well, but just tell us a bit more about that.
So this is a very difficult time for airlines in Europe. Ultimately, the European aviation climate is volatile. It's fiercely competitive. It's driven solely by those carriers who have the large economies of scale to be able to fly wherever and whenever they want and drive the market with extremely low fares, which is unsustainable. So when you have smaller players like Flybmi who are not propped up by larger company airlines, for example, the IAG group who own British Airways and Aer Lingus, or the Lufthansa group, then you become vulnerable, and ultimately trying to take on the likes of EasyJet, who are able to undercut routes, offer fares that are of a quarter of the likes that Flybmi are able to offer, that it was never going to be sustainable. And ultimately, if they didn't receive extra cash or a kind of restructuring that would see the airline better strategized and better well structured, then the future was never going to be the best.
And you point out that Flybmi itself, their profits have not been good for the last few years indeed, and pre-Brexit, I guess, pre-referendum.
Exactly. This is an airline that has been passed from airline to airline in terms of acquisitions, and it has struggled to turn a profit. Lufthansa, who are very well known for picking up airlines and driving them into profitability, struggled when they gave the airline up in 2012 and it became a private company here in the UK. It isn't profitable. They have struggled. They have also been beaten down by 2018's very volatile high oil price. Ultimately, the high oil price of last year has wiped off profits at even the strongest and most profitable airlines. So you can imagine what it has done to carriers such as Flybmi, who are very small on the scale of things.
In terms of passengers, what should they be doing now? And you were talking about clarifying between different airlines for people who might be confused. Exactly.
So let's be clear. This is Flybmi, who have nothing to do with Flybe, who are, of course, a much larger airline, and they are safe now financially. Flybmi is the airline that has collapsed yesterday, and unfortunately for passengers, there is very little they can do to get any money back, for example, from the airline. Passengers should check their travel insurance policies covers them for airline collapse or airline failure, and this is really where the importance of travel insurance comes into play. Also, if passengers booked via a credit card, then they are protected by some consumer acts. For those stuck abroad, they have to make their own way home. There are some airlines offering what's known as rescue fares, kind of discount tickets to bring passengers back.
OK, so it's worth people checking that out. Alex, thank you very much for coming in and explaining the situation to us.